We need to get Coach off the clock. Welcome back. Now, Coach, I gotta say this. I was impressed to see you move around a little bit out there today. Do you normally get around like that?
Well, it might be another week or two before I recover. No, I'm moving a whole lot more than I used to move.
Well, you look good. I'm always impressed with coaches who not only talk about it, but they're actually about it with their action too. So I have a lot of respect for you, and I know your guys probably appreciate it too.
Oh, I hope they do.
Oh, I know. They probably won't say it, but they will later.
Yeah, because it has a personal cost for me sometimes. I'm hoping it doesn't now.
Well, Coach, let's get right into it. So who is Coach Hughley?
Simple guy. Loves basketball. There's a great love for impactful, meaningful time with those young men. Because I'm them and they're me. And I'm just hoping that, life is full of problems and solutions. And I just hope I can err more on the side of giving them solutions and arming them and equipping them with enough wherewithal, resourcefulness.
Yeah.
So when they get out there and they told to 10 and 2 because of something that they couldn't help. These guys, they're step cut, above reproach and trying to just handle that kind of life.
Yeah.
And they're still excited about who they are, how they fit, and being good fathers, good husbands, good church members, good community members, and leaders of their own household.
Yeah.
That's what many aspire but few attain, but that's what my hope is. Basketball is just a big smoke screen and an ambush to tell them what you really want. You give them what they need in the context of what they think they want. They think they want to be pros. They'll be pros in something, but maybe not basketball.
Yeah.
So hopefully when you get their attention, you can start filling their suitcase with a lot of stuff that they'll really, really need, no matter where they go.
I love that. I love that, especially what you said about a solution, giving them that solution. Now, what made you want to be a coach? Do you remember the first moment you're like, I got to be a coach? Was it a person, a situation?
It probably grew out of not want to be a coach. Absolutely. It grew out of not want to coach. Because I said, man, these kids going to make me go to jail. There's no way I can coach that generation. And then the generation before me, I had so much respect for them, but the generation after, you always start scratching your head and go, whoa, wait a minute. Then you start to get a little older and you see some things that, man, I probably was like that a little bit. So were my peers, and it's just a different iteration of it, but more the same. And then, I had a son. And I thought about who was most impactful for me throughout my life, and it was my basketball coach, my football coach. They spoke into my life even though, whether I wanted them to or not. Even though I didn't understand it then, I do understand it well enough now. There's two things you can learn from anything and anybody: what to do and what not to do. And I learned a whole lot of what to do from my coaches. Some what not to do, but not a lot. And most of which stays with me even today. And how I manage and coach and relate to these young men now.
I think you do an incredible job. Now I know I did a little research. Now I know that you coach nearly at every single level, including the Olympics, correct? Can you tell us about that experience and what, obviously you love coaching college basketball, but is there a specific age group that you enjoy, and how was the Olympics in coaching?
Well, when you go through the whole gamut, UPS is famous for doing it from the bottom up. You might have to call me Brown because I've done it elementary, park league, recreation, all the way up to whatever we can consider being the highest level. The Olympics was a dream come true. That was exciting. I never expected to even attend the Olympics, let alone coach, but be a head coach in the Olympics. Prior to that, I got a chance to be a coach in the World Cup. And then we qualified for another World Cup, and Nigeria had Simone some of their own issues, which allowed us not to play in that. But we was hoping to get a Nneka and a sister, Elizabeth Williams, and really, be something to deal with. But
yeah.
that all got shut down.
What year was that?
That was it was 2020 Olympics, but it turned into 2021.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we qualified for the World Cup the following 22 in Sydney.
Wow.
We won in Serbia, but that was my third time doing that. So
yeah.
I was in the Asia Games. That's the Olympics in China and all the Asian countries.
Wow.
So it's been a blast, and that really steered me back to college, along with being able to reunite with my son when he's just coming into college.
Yeah. Now, speaking about college, now say it's game day at home. Can you tell us your pregame ritual? Do you have one?
Oh, just a lot of prayer.
Yeah, that's the best one probably.
A lot of prayer, knee pads, because I'll be on my knees praying. Maybe begging the Lord a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not the prayer you think. Can you help me win? No, let's play the game the right way. Let's make sure that the kids' second most valuable asset, their time, which is second to their soul, that we don't waste it. We really pour in some truth, some meaningful, substantive things, that tangible things and intangible things that they can really come away with and walk through the rest of their life with. And you commandeer those moments because they're fleeting, they don't stay very long, and you don't want to miss that lesson because you might have to learn it again.
Yeah.
So that's what game day is for me, and those prayers are comprised of for me. And then you get down to the specifics of strategy and, trying to understand, how you want to play against this specific opponent and how you want to attack them, and then leaving room for adapting, because that's all the game is.
Yeah.
You can have a plan. Games are sometimes like God. If you want to make God laugh, tell him what you playing.
Ooh, you said something right there.
Hey, that game will make you, it'll start laughing at you.
You think it's going one way and it goes the other way.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you get humbled inside your heart.
Yeah.
And so, but you do enough preparing that you got a, arsenal of things you can draw from. But even then, sometimes that's not enough, because that game is lying in wait to teach you something else to give to those kids. That's what it's really about. You watch me coaching, folks won't think that, because I'm very passionate. Trying to build a culture the year one. There's a lot less coaching, a whole lot building culture and respect and getting established the first year. Now maybe this year we can get to some more coaching, more of that, more of building this program in such a way that it has staying power, and you can see going forward, okay, that trajectory is pretty promising.
Yeah.
Not quite there yet.
And we're going to get there, though.
Oh, for sure.
I got faith in you and you guys.
I appreciate it.
But you mentioned God and your faith and praying, and I have a question for you. So how do you able to not only speak, but also with your actions, show your faith with the guys? Like, I noticed that you guys prayed after your workout. What are ways that you try to sprinkle in some Jesus if it's not even verbal?
I think it's very important to share the gospel and the truth with kids, but when necessary, use words.
Yeah, yeah.
So more is caught than taught. Kids will listen to more of what you do than what you tell them.
Yeah.
Your actions will validate or invalidate your words. So if you don't love them past who they are, you don't listen to them, and you don't do all those things. You heard the whole cliche. Kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So, and you have to demonstrate that.
Yeah.
Like Jesus did. He demonstrated how much he loved us. So we try to do that. I think the best demonstration is illustration. Watch you love your own wife, love your children, always talk about your family, leave your phone hot, so whenever your wife calls, and you pick that thing up. I don't care if it's middle of practice, middle of the game, you pick that thing up. So I think living that way allows you, in those critical moments when they ask you, as opposed to proselytizing verbally,
Yeah.
When they ask you, or when those moments call for them to pay attention to an example on a reference on what to do next, then hopefully you didn't embarrass the Lord. You lived in such a way they go, okay, that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty good example. Man, I remember what my coach did. So, and that's important. You have those kind of people on your staff too.
Yeah.
That are sort of evenly yoked and have that same intent, and not letting basketball just run away, consume them, and using those kids for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the sunset, so I ain't trying to go nowhere. If they don't, you know, I'm in my last year. If they want me here, they'll keep me. If they don't, they won't, and that's okay. Whatever happens, just happens. I'm gonna trust the Lord for the future.
He doesn't steer us wrong at all, at all. I noticed that when I came in, the atmosphere, and that's a big thing. When you go to different practices, you always can feel the gym, you know what I mean? And it's a very positive atmosphere. Everyone, you could tell, just love being here, coaches included, staff included, because that's not always the case wherever you go. And I also noticed too, I loved how your assistant coaches were heavily involved in the practice, and just all your guys were locked in. So it's obvious that you guys not only lead by verbally, but by your actions. And you know that too with our faith. Sometimes people can see how we are. We can see the Jesus in us without even saying a word, but by our actions. So I think that's awesome. It's rare to see that, especially just in the college setting too. So.
Two things, bullet point: child of the Lord and big time basketball player, and understand this environment. That's all written all over you. Only someone with that kind of background can have that kind of discernment.
Thank you.
That's pretty exceptional. Wow.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate that. This makes it easy.
Well, look, before we go on break, you've said some amazing things, but if you can pick one advice that you could give an up-and-coming coach or someone that is interested in coaching, what would you tell them?
Well, find out what it is. If every job paid the same, what would you do?
I like that. I like that.
Every job paid the same. What is it you would choose to do with your second most valuable asset and pour your passion out into that time frame? What would you do? If the answer comes up all the time, coaching, okay, now you're on to something.
Yeah.
But if it's any other reason or any other answer, I not want to do this.
I like that. That's really good. That's really, really good. Wow. Well, you guys heard it here. We'll be right back to hear what Coach does off the clock. Welcome back. Now we got Coach off the clock. Now look, I heard that you have an anniversary coming up soon.
Oh yeah.
Is that true?
Oh yeah.
How many years?
34 on Saturday.
Ooh, and I'm sure you got some big plans.
Yes.
You probably can't talk about it.
No, it's supposed to be a secret.
Okay.
My wife found out anyway.
Oh.
She was on a mission. What?
You couldn't hide it.
Man, I tried. She found it anyway.
Oh.
I deleted all the emails and everything. Another one kept coming in and I was done.
Well, it's the effort that I'm sure it's going to be an amazing weekend then.
Yeah.
I'm sure. How did you guys meet?
In college.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a freshman at Livingston University. It's now the University of West Alabama. I was a senior.
Okay.
And I was finishing up my football career, believe it or not. And she was coming in as an incoming freshman. And I saw her walk across the campus. She had a Bronx, New York's shirt on. Of course, that's where I was born.
I didn't know that.
And I said, hey, homegirl. She gave me this look like, who are you? And boy, I followed her ever since. Come to find out, she was born in New York in the same hospital I was born in.
Wow.
3 years later.
Wow, that's
we
crazy.
met in Livingston, Alabama.
Of all places.
Right, you cross the street, you're in the next city. One spot, one traffic light.
Do you remember how long did you guys date before you proposed?
About 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, about 5 years. So
Wow.
married in '89. So.
And any kids?
4.
4.
2 boys, 2 girls. One of which is here on the team, and then my daughter's also here, my youngest daughter.
How is that relationship having your son on your team?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I coached the oldest son.
Okay.
He happened to be DeMarcus Cousins' point guard in high school.
Okay.
So I coached both of those guys. And then now this son here, he's playing with me at the collegiate level. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I'm sure it's not a full of no dull moments. There's always something interesting happening.
Oh, that's right. Mama's the referee.
And does your wife, she like understands the game? Like can she give some pointers?
She's learned it and come a long way.
Okay.
She doesn't really know as much about it, but more than you would think.
So she knows like turnover, carry, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she's good.
Yeah, so she's yelling at the right time.
Okay, that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
Well, look, tell us when you're not here, what do you like to do on your free time?
Well, there's really not a lot of free time.
Yeah.
When I have time at home, I go home, I sit on the couch, and I have to unwind. I turn the TV on. I probably something unrelated to basketball. We find a movie, we watch it, and at commercials, I got my phone out playing solitaire, just to calm down. You got a new game? So now I've gone to Sudoku.
Ah, okay.
And it's gotten too easy, so now I don't know what really to turn to. Now I might play chess, but then you got to find someone that's better.
Well, no, on your phone.
I hadn't done that.
There you go.
I might need to do that. I'm not good at the losing though.
I can imagine, but I doubt you lose much.
Well, eventually with these games, I don't lose as much, and hopefully that's what's happening here. Eventually,
right.
We won't lose as much.
And then if you have an off day, I mean, it's the same thing. Is there any particular you like to do on an off day, or is it really just more film and?
Well, my mind's spinning so fast.
Yeah.
I want to sleep, but it's hard. There's always something to do.
Yeah.
So you got to be very intentional about setting time aside for yourself. Go get a physical. Maybe just lay down and no noise. Let the room get dark. Now that's when I'll go to sleep.
Yeah. When it's nice and cold too.
Oh, you already know. Ooh, girl, I don't know. How you know?
Coach, you mentioned about your free time, and you talked a little bit about just self-care. Can you share with us the importance of mental health for coaches in general?
Well, I mentioned a little bit earlier about solitaire. That helps me. You know how baby has a pacifier and Linus has a blanket. It's not to that degree, but akin to just being able to just take my mind back to neutral. And slow it down from the fast lane and the concern and the thought of what I have to do next. I think the mental health aspect has been more and more relied upon or paid attention to in this day and age, as it, in the previous days, no one even gave a lot of thought to it. In my household, in my family, well, his daddy was different, so he different. And mama different, so he different.
Yeah.
Now, there's time, people are very intentional about taking a retreat. I think Christ even demonstrated when he went.
Yeah, he rested.
And he rested, he took some time.
Got away alone.
He got away. Not even with his guys, he got away. There may have been some temptation come after him, but he dealt with it, and he showed us how to do that. So I think it's imperative that you take time aside, you relax, you reset, you reflect, and then you start to just have some me time and then prepare before you go back out.
Yeah.
That's critical, because you can't burn the candle from various ends.
Yeah,
and think it's not going. Yeah, think it's not going, drain you or take you off what you're trying to do. So I think the mental health component is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
And it hadn't been as prevalent in the past, but now, people are more conscious and cognizant that that's a non-negotiable, concern that you have to really, really give attention to.
I agree with you. I feel like maybe about 10 years ago in college or just in general sports, mental health wasn't really as big or people paid any attention. But now it's good to see not only universities taking account that student athletes need help and resources, but even as coaches, you see more taking account of that. Because I've learned even with myself the importance of, like you said, reset. I even add recharge and rejuvenate in there too.
Yes.
Because it is important, because these kids, they expect all of us, everything that we got in us. But it's like you have to be able to refill yourself, and finding out the different ways to do that, because it is different for everybody. It might be in a room laying down, the temperature is like 68 degrees cold, you know what I mean? Or for me, it's like going on a walk or just getting out of town for just a second, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it is really, really important.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing.
That was a great question.
Well, look, we'll be right back to hear about this upcoming season.
Hello Huntsville is a weekly lifestyle audio and video podcast produced in studio and on location to showcase Huntsville's best activities, entertainment, neighborhoods, and all the unique attractions that make the Rocket City one of the top cities to live in the nation. Our primary audience is adults who live, work, play, and innovate in the Huntsville metro area. And each episode will feature Cynthia Joyner in conversation with business owners, decision makers, elected officials, and some of the city's most compelling personalities telling the stories of her hometown. Whether you're local, new in town, or just passing through, Hello Huntsville will have something for you.
Welcome back. Now, Coach, let's talk about this upcoming season. So do you have any new faces, any returners? How's it looking?
We got a good mixture of some returners with some new faces, and excited, really excited about the upcoming year, because we just want to take it to the next level and building a culture and building a program that can consistently win. It's been a long time, since we've established some winning here. And between the time I've been here and Van was coaching, there was a lot of things that made it tough for Coach Hayes and those other coaches to win. But with the administration and the AD and our president, they give us everything we need to try to be the best that we can.
Yeah.
We're just in the age now where old arena, that used to attract guys that can move the needle and young ladies that can help us win championships, but it doesn't do that anymore. This is the age of free agency.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get, an SEC player, ACC player, because you have a new arena, they like your campus anymore. No, you have to pay now, and that makes it really, really hard. Fortunately, by God's grace, we've been able to attract some really, really good athletes under the radar right now. Because I've been doing this so long, I've been at a junior college where they didn't have anything to attract anybody. So I had to learn in acute fashion how to identify talent that can move the needle that no one else really thought could. So I think we got a few of those here.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that it starts to metastasize into big time winning.
And with the season coming up, is there a particular game that you're really excited about?
I'm excited about all of them.
Yeah.
Can't wait. The Oakwood is here, and that's always an exciting game. We go to Auburn, Georgia Tech, and Vanderbilt.
Well, that's gonna be real fun.
Yeah, so
you're gonna be on the road a good bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also got UAB coming in here.
Okay.
We got University of Tennessee Chattanooga coming in.
Oh,
Tennessee State coming in here. So I think it's on the average you get 2 home games with Division I teams before conference in schools. HBCUs, but we had 9 last year. Of course, 4 of them were non-D1s, but we still have 5 D1s coming here.
Yeah.
Well, this year we got 3 coming, and of course we got Oakwood at home, so we got 4 games at home before the preseason.
Wow, that's awesome. And this season coming up is gonna be the first full season that we'll be playing. A&M will be playing in this new arena, correct?
Yes. Yeah. That's correct.
And going forward, what are you What are you most excited about with trying to help fill these seats? How important is the community to you, and how are you getting your boys more involved with the community?
I know we got a community that really enjoys exciting events. And there's no bigger, more exciting event than our football games and our basketball games here on campus. Man, it's almost akin to being one of the most exciting, greatest shows locally here in all of Huntsville. I tell you, it would be a treat if you guys come in here and get season tickets, get your tickets, bring your kids. It's a family environment. It's a great outing for the entire family to come and enjoy some great time together in a great basketball game or great football game or great baseball game. But this arena is the best in the Tennessee Valley.
I believe you.
We got an NBA training room. We got an NBA weight room.
Weight room is beautiful.
We got a great facility. Guys, come out and see us. You'll love the experience.
Now, before we head out, those who are watching, tell us what we can expect. What type of style of play can we expect to see when we come in the games?
Oh, man, we're going to press you from the bus to the bathroom to the kitchen. That's what we like to do. But we got a few big guys, and we got to slow down a little bit so it won't be as acute as it would be once those guys graduate.
Yeah.
We're going to really press you from the beginning
tempo.
to the yes.
Looking to push.
Push it, transition defense to make you turn it over. Steal it from you, give it back to you just so we can take it from you again.
I like it. 5-out offense?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Depending on the personnel that's in.
Okay.
Because we got a couple of bigs that we could throw it into.
Yeah.
They may start out, but they'll go in. So we'll run some four out, one in. But when all those guards come out there, it'll definitely be 5-out.
Are you a fan of threes? Like a lot, I know the game has changed so much, that's a part of it, but do we expect to see that? A lot of transition threes in the offense or flow of the game, or what do you think?
I want them shooting threes whenever they're open. I want to shoot more threes than they do twos.
It's more points, so I understand that.
That's right. Hopefully, mathematically, we'll come out the right way.
Top. Well, Coach, it's been an absolute pleasure just to sit here and chat with you. I've gained a lot myself, so I know those watching too have gained a lot of wisdom just watching this show. So I really appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Thanks, Sarah.
Well, those who are watching, feel free again. If you've missed this episode, you can visit our YouTube channel, Off the Clock TV. And if you are wanting to get some tickets, you can scan the QR code. I'm your host, Sierra Jones. Join us next week to see who's off the clock.